Hi, I am Dr. Sridhar Kalyanasundaram, consultant neonatologist. The aim of this video is to instruct you as a parent or the family member or even the nanny who is going to look after a little baby on how to approach basic life support or infant cardiopulmonary resuscitation. We call it CPR in short. So, acute life-threatening events can happen anytime during the course of a day, anytime in the baby's life. And unfortunately, it does happen fairly commonly in the community. So any parent or nanny or family member who's looking after a baby should be aware of CPR techniques, because we all know that we have to call 999 to call the emergency service. But if a baby is found blue, it's not enough to call the emergency service. You actually have to start the resuscitation measures at home. By the time the emergency service arrives, you will be able to at least start the process and increase the chances of being successful. Majority of the time, you don't need to do more than stimulating the baby or turning the baby to the side to remove any secretions that may be blocking the mouth. Or in the case of choking, the baby may respond quickly to your tapping measures and you may not need to do the full cardiopulmonary resuscitation. But we never know, and our baby's life is too precious for us to take any chance. There are a group of babies who are at high risk. So these are the premature babies, the babies who may have a risk of seizures, the babies who are at higher risk of choking, like the ones who have reflux. Any mobile toddler has a risk of falls, and you may have a reason for needing CPR. We have a condition called sudden infant death syndrome. Unfortunately, it still happens, though the frequency has reduced with Back to Sleep campaign. And this is where in the first 4 months, the baby's breathing maturity is not adequate, and they may need to wake up from their sleep, but they don't do that, and suddenly the baby may be found blue in their sleep. So this is the predisposition. It's an acute life-threatening event, and sometimes the baby dies, and that's when it's called sudden infant death. And if you do find your baby unresponsive, you have to start the CPR immediately in these situations. Drowning at home is a situation again where you may need life support. So the steps of life support starts from situation awareness. So be clear that the baby is not in any immediate danger, and you're also not putting yourself in danger by approaching the baby blindly. Because if it's an electric shock, for example, you need to have a wooden or rubber tool to move the baby away first to safety before you actually start touching the baby with your hands. Otherwise, you may get the shock yourself as well. If the baby is in a hot environment, you have to move the baby away. It may happen that the baby fainted in the bath. You may have to move the baby away from any other place. If it's not a firm surface, you may have to take the baby where you can keep the baby on a firm surface to start the CPR. Call for help immediately where you are able to shout for help. If you have someone else in the family in a different room, just shout for help. If you have your mobile phone, as you start the CPR process, you can start dialing 999 on the speaker mode. However, if you don't have the phone immediately accessible and you don't have anyone else in the family, you start the steps of resuscitation, do it for one full minute before you carry the baby to the phone and do the further steps after you call 999. So in infants, we have to start the CPR first if you can't call for help immediately for at least 1 minute of full CPR, and then you see the response and then call for help. As you start the CPR process, I will be showing you in a demonstration soon after this. So the steps include looking at the baby's responsiveness. So you shake the baby's feet, you shake the baby's chest wall or rub gently and see baby wake up or tell the baby's name and ask the baby to respond. Normally, if a baby is starting to respond to the movement, it's a good sign. You don't need to panic. If there is something blocking, you turn the baby to the neutral or recovery position, keep the head open, and the baby may start breathing again. If there is any obvious foreign body, you may try to remove it at that time. If the baby does not remove, the current recommendation is not to look for the pulse. Even a medical personnel find it difficult to feel the pulse in a young infant. So looking for responsiveness like breathing effort, whether the baby is showing any signs of response when you move the baby, this is adequate. So you look at the chest wall, you open the chest and see the chest wall to see any signs of breathing. If there is no breathing, previously we used to say start with mouth-to-mouth breathing, but now to balance all the CPR measures together, it is chest compressions for 30 compressions. We start the chest compressions for 30 compressions and then we go on to the breath. So even in a baby, chest compressions followed by mouth-to-mouth breathing. Because you are at home, you don't have a mask or any other equipment to give breathing. So 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths. I will be showing you how to do it. And then this cycle keeps repeating As I said, at the end of 1 minute, if you have not already called for help, you take your phone and call for help, and keep repeating the cycle till help arrives or the baby starts responding. So now we'll have a demonstration of what we do when we are having a situation where you need infant CPR. So you're approaching the baby quickly and you're assessing the situation. Make sure it's safe, as I said earlier, and keep the baby on a firm surface where you can assess and manage the CPR. So the first step is to position the head in a neutral position, which means the forehead is straight facing the roof in a small baby and a sniffing position in an older infant. So you hold the heel of your hand on the forehead and one hand can lift the chin up. Then you assess the baby for responsiveness. So you can tap, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? So you can tap the feet or see if the baby has any breathing effort. We don't recommend testing the pulse, checking the pulse, as I said earlier. And because feeling the pulse in a carotid area or in the forearm, in the upper arm is a difficult process in babies. So we start with assuming that the baby is not responding. Then we have to start with 30 chest compressions first, followed by 2 mouth-to-mouth breaths. And then the cycle will repeat. After 2 cycles, if you have not called for help, you have to go and call for help. So the chest compression is between the internipple line and this bone, which is jutting out. It's called the xiphoid process of the chest bone. You keep 2 fingers here, maintain the neutral position for the neck because you'll need that for the mouth-to-mouth breathing. And then count to 30. The compression should be firm and deep. And normally we expect to reach 1/3 of this diameter of the chest. So you have to have deep compressions. You should allow adequate recoil. So press down 1/3 of the chest and allow it to recoil before you go again. But this should be done at a rapid pace because your aim is to reach about 120 beats per minute. So that's 30 beats in this range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30. Once you have done the 30 chest compressions, you have to do mouth-to-mouth breathing. And while we do mouth-to-mouth breathing, if it is a bigger infant or even a smaller infant, if your mouth is small, you can pinch the nose and your aim is to cover the mouth of the baby with your mouth. You first take a deep breath in, keep your mouth to occlude the baby's mouth and give the breath in. And as you breathe, normally in an infant who is floppy, you would be able to see the chest rise. This mannequin is not meant for mouth-to-mouth breathing, so we won't be seeing a chest rise, but you will give the full breath in for a second. Breathe again. Then resume the CPR again for 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this process has to continue, and after the first minute, as I said, if you have not called for help earlier, you have to take the baby. You cannot delay the process. You have to carry the baby to the phone, set the baby down on the floor and call the 999, and then resume the CPR waiting for help to arrive. If there was a foreign body like situation, you can assess if you can remove and you can repeat the back blows once or twice in between. But normally if the baby is unresponsive, your aim is to get oxygen into the baby, and calling for help and continuing this process till the baby is either revived when the baby starts moving or breathing. If the baby is responsive, that means the heart is pumping, so you don't need to continue the chest compressions. And if you have 2 people in the family, one of you has already called for help, you have an easier way to do the chest compression where it's called the 2-thumb technique. So you same position as you did in between the nipple lines and in the mid part of the sternum, and your 2 thumbs can either encircle or keep your fingers like this, and you press down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. So this is easier on your arm because pressing like this takes more energy, and you can continue doing this for a longer time. But if you are only a single person doing it, you need to maintain the head position so there is no delay with the mouth-to-mouth breathing. So better to do with the 2-finger method till help arrives. It can be a very stressful scenario because you're already worried about your baby who is not responding, but to save the life, unfortunately, you have to maintain it. So you may need to practice this with the mannequin, and I hope this helps. We have a separate video following on infant choking and what to do. So please watch that as well. And as I said, repetition is key. You may have to buy a baby doll or something similar to the mannequin I'm using to practice it at home. Don't take a chance. Don't think it won't happen to you. We all hope that it doesn't happen, but this is something you cannot take a chance with. Thank you.
Discover the ultimate healthcare experience.